Moto Scout, exploring life on two wheels.
Welcome back, friends. I don't know if you can tell from the clouds in front of us, but I am sneaking a ride in between rain. Road's got a couple damp points, but overall it's fairly dry. I do have a topic for us today, and it's going to be one you wouldn't expect from somebody on the back of a motorcycle. I've been on a diet. Now, before you think I'm eating a bunch of salads and fruits and being really careful to avoid all those bad things like fat and meat and eggs, I've done the exact opposite. I started in the beginning of December a carnivore diet, basically limiting my food intake to only animal product. That's meat, fish, chicken, eggs, cheese, a little bit of dairy. But for the most part, it's eliminating almost all carbs from your diet. Now, there's a few carbs in cheese, and I use heavy cream or half and half in my coffee. But for the most part, it's fat and protein. Now, the even crazier thing is it worked. In the 2 months that I've done it, or in the 2 months that I did it, I've kind of been off the diet for a week and a half. I'll talk about that in just a second. But in those 2 months, I lost 20 pounds. I went from 223 to 203, and I'm right at 6 foot. So the initial weight fell off pretty quickly. I lost probably 5 or 6 pounds in that first week, and that's probably water retention weight that I lost. But the weight continued to steadily fall off until I hit about 203, and about that time I got a little cocky. I started introducing some stuff. I had some birthday cake. I started eating the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that my sons didn't eat in their lunches. So I kind of I did increase the carbs quite a bit, and I put on another pound or two. So after today, I'm going to go back on the carnivore diet and see if I can get down a little bit closer to my ideal weight, which according to the BMI scale should be around 180. If I can get to 190, I think I'd be pretty happy with that. Now, a lot of people who hear that will say, yeah, you lost the weight, that's great and all, but it's got to be bad for you. And the answer to that is, I don't know. Read a few articles and some studies, and basically I don't think anybody has done a large scale or scientific study on people who have limited themselves to a high fat, high protein diet while cutting out the carbs. Now, there are tribes and groups of people who eat that diet naturally. The most well known are the Inuit or Eskimos up in northern Canada. Their diet consists almost entirely on seal, fish, seal fat. There's no vegetables that grow up there, so there's no source readily available, carbohydrate source. And before they became westernized, they didn't have any means to import that stuff in. Despite that diet, they don't have a higher incidence of heart disease, obesity, scurvy. You don't get scurvy from just eating high fat and protein. It's when you introduce the carbohydrates, I have read, that you start needing all these other things into your daily diet. Oh, there's a little standing water on a clean bike. So they've lived on this diet for centuries, really, without any of these problems that you would normally associate with lack of vegetables, fruits, and carbohydrates. There was a anthropologist who went up there and lived on that same diet for over a year, and his diet adopted really quickly. And when he got back, over 7 years, I think he spent 3.5 years there, or over 7 years with the Inuit. He enjoyed that way of eating much better. His taste adopted to it quickly. He was satisfied. He slept better. He felt better. So all of this anecdotal stuff was enough to get me to say, heck, I've tried it, other things before. Why not give this a try? So here's personally what I found while on the diet. 1, I lost weight. Great. 2, I wanted to turn right there. 2, I slept well. I also had a lot more energy. There's the river down there. Let's go take a look at the river since I missed my turn. But I slept a lot better. Now, that's really swollen. Now that's the boat ramp, and that water's way up on the boat ramp. You can see all this mud was washed up by the river when it must have flooded. Because this is the parking lot that's got all that mud on it, and it's asphalt. So lost weight, slept better, had more energy. My blood pressure, which was borderline high, wasn't on any medication, but every time I went to the doctor it read high, and she would tell me to exercise and lose weight. It came down to well below normal. Of course, that could have been a factor of the weight loss, but my increased salt intake from salting the beef that I ate did not adversely affect my blood pressure. And I did check that. I checked it so much that my wife bought me a blood pressure cuff for the house as a birthday present. And even funnier than her buying it for me is I kind of liked it. But that's just the kind of numbers geek that I am. So, blood pressure normalized. Basically, I couldn't find anything that I was adversely affected. A lot of people would think you're not getting any fiber so that you are going to be constipated. Well, you're not constipated, but your body does absorb a lot more of the nutrients from the food you're eating and your body doesn't digest fiber at all. The fiber is like Drano, it's to push stuff out. So while I wasn't constipated, let's just say I wasn't as productive as you would normally be, which was, you know, kind of a blessing. I didn't notice it particularly myself, but other people have noticed. Yeah, I'm going to have to wash my bike again. Most people have noticed improvements in skin, improvements in hair, and of course that's all anecdotal, but it was enough to get me to try it, and I enjoyed eating that way. You'd think, hey, I bet you get tired of eating, you know, just animal product. And that wasn't actually the case. Did I miss certain things? Yeah, I miss peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I miss French fries, which has also been the downfall of this past couple of weeks. But I didn't. The crazy thing is, I didn't have the cravings that I had when I was on a standard American diet. Which, by the way, the abbreviation for the standard American diet is SAD, which is sad. And that accurately describes my diet before I did this. So, when I was on the standard American diet, I would have coffee for breakfast, maybe a Pop-Tart, maybe not have anything for breakfast along with the coffee. I'd eat out at lunch, normal food. And then I'd come home, eat normal dinner. But, you know, in the evening, I found myself going to the pantry, you know, every 15 to 20 minutes and getting a small snack here and there, you know, whether it be 150 calories there, 200 calories, you know, 30 minutes later, 100 calories before bed. I was probably packing on 500 or 600 additional calories just snacking and grazing through the night. And to be honest, it could have been a lot worse than that. I did not keep track of that stuff. I did not have that problem, however, when I was eating the high-fat, high-protein diet. So that alone, you know, not having that hunger cut a ton of calories out of my diet. But I did track all the food I ate during the past 2 months, and I was still getting anywhere from 1,800 calories to 2,600 calories a day and constantly losing weight. So I'm ready to jump back on it. I'm going to include some links in the description to some of the stuff that I looked at before I started it. Now, diet is definitely a personal thing. Will this diet work for everybody? I doubt it. Will it work for some? Obviously. I need to quit saying ums. But if what you've been doing hasn't been working, it's definitely worth investigating or just giving it a try. The doctor that that inspired me to give it a try did a World Carnivore month in January, and he's starting a Meat Madness March in just a few days. So if you see this in the next couple days and want to click on his link to get some more information, you know, I'd be interested to see if anybody does it, if anybody sticks to it, and what kind of results they find from it. This is where I start getting on roads that get smaller and smaller until I decide, you know what, I probably ought to just turn around. In fact, I think I've done this once before. So, moto friends, before I get lost, I will go ahead and sign off. If you've got any questions about the carnivore diet or need some more information or resources for that, leave a comment, contact me by email, by Twitter. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please subscribe to the channel. If I can get it up to 100 subscribers, I can get a custom URL, which will help me get it out to people a little bit easier, because the address for the site now is really just a bunch of gibberish, random gibberish numbers and letters that they've put together for channels. So I'd appreciate it if you'd share it with your friends if you think that they might enjoy it. It's not just motorcycles, it's some crazy guy giving random thoughts on topics you wouldn't expect, like carnivore diets. So until we get to talk again, I encourage you to ride safe and enjoy the open road. Moto Scout out.
Mm-hmm.